Going on, everybody? Hey, so my thought from this week. We can't really expect to be trusted with a lot or big things if we can't be trusted with the little things. In that the very first Spider-Man before they made like 10 different, actors and movies and series and everything like that. But in the first one, at least the one I grew up watching, Uncle Ben says in there, with great power comes great responsibility. So anyone who's ever heard that, I'm sure there's been many different forms of that quote coming from somewhere. But anyways, that's just one that initially came to my mind. And also similarly in Luke 12:48, it says, "But someone who does not know and then does something wrong, he'll be punished only lightly." When someone has been given much, much will be required in return. And when someone has been entrusted with much, even more will be required. And that just kind of had me thinking on how much do we get trusted with things? And again, and I could go on to many different analogies and there's the whole in the Bible is the story of the of the king who or the owner who has, his three servants who all get different amounts of bags of gold. One gets five, one gets two or three, one gets one. And the one who gets five goes and invests it properly, gets more. Same one with the two bags. He goes and gets more uh, and invests it wisely. But then the one with the one, he doesn't invest it. He's scared to lose it, so he buries it. And then he's the one who kind of gets in trouble because he didn't do anything with what he was given. He just sat on it because he was scared of losing it. So the guy who had five was given a lot more. The guy with two who got more, he was given even more to take on. But anyways, you get the idea. So I was thinking about it and how and just kind of how the more we want, like the more we want to have or and how we get entrusted with things in today's world. Again, it goes as very simply as, you get more the more you've been given and that you are trusted with and the better you actually do with that stuff, then the more you will be trusted as if you take care of those things, right? But if you get something and you're a kid, you get a toy and you break it, you don't care about it, you leave it outside, why are you going to get more toys? You're not. You're not going to be trusted with more things. So when I was thinking about that idea, I was also thinking a lot about this analogy this past week on like cocoons and how life is pretty much it is kind of like a cocoon. So whenever a butterfly or before it becomes a butterfly and being all bright and colorful and flying and chasing on and taking on the world, before it becomes that, it has to be in a cocoon. It's growing. And not only that, right before it emerges from its cocoon, it has to struggle and it has to struggle a lot and it has to break free from the cocoon to be able to take flight. And there's been different forms of this. So the short version that I'll give is, the guy was looking at, wanting to help, he's wanting to help get that little guy out. And he's going to take a knife and make a slit so that it was easier for the little guy to come out and become a butterfly. And another guy comes up and he's like, "Hey, don't do that. If you try and help him, he's not going to struggle enough to break free. And then if that happens, when he goes out into the world, he's not going to be strong enough to take on the world and he's going to die. So you have to let them struggle while they're trying to break free from their cage, right? This world feels like a cage at times, and we feel so enclosed on where we're at and we're trying to break free and it takes time. Everything takes time. Everything good, everything it's going to take some time for us to break free from where we're at or whoever we are, the season you're in, whatever the case is, to break free and to emerge. And then you after you've been through that struggle of breaking free from your cage, from your prison, then you are able to take on the world and you're able to take flight and go on and do all that great stuff, but not until you have struggled and you've been able to break free, on your own, until you've been able to just again take it on and build up the strength that it takes to break free from this prison and be able to go out into the world. And so when I think about it in that sense of life, I was like, you know, we need to be take, we're given like certain responsibilities as we grow up. We build on those a little bit more here and there. And then we just start to learn more about responsibility. We get more responsibilities, and we want to take flight in this world, but we have to break free from our cocoon, and that can be, analogy for all types of things. I'm thinking of it right now as really seasons. Are you able to break free from that, from where you're at before you can take flight and be that nice, beautiful butterfly that takes flight and is all pretty and stuff? I have no idea what they do, but you see them and you just kind of stop and you're like, oh, that's a really nice sight. It's just like beautiful nature at its best. So before it can get there, it has to struggle and suffer a lot. So that's just kind of been my thought for this week. However that might apply to you or anything like that. That's just been what was on my mind. So I just wanted to get that idea out there, and maybe it was able to help someone or not. I don't know, but hopefully it does. Anyways, hope the best for you guys. You all have a blessed one. See you next time, and always be good.